Have we come too far with technology? Every single year we seem to hear about this new technology, such as a new computer processor or something, that automatically makes things obsolete. And in some instances, a la Apple, it seems like we're getting something new every 6 months now. And there's this race to keep up like you wouldn't believe. It's like as soon as something comes out, it's obsolete. There are some things, though, that time can never touch. Take a look at these clocks. They are all Howard Miller models, mantle clocks. And for those of you who may not be familiar with them, I'll go ahead and give you a little explanation of what these three holes here on each face are for. These clocks do not run on batteries. They do not run on electricity, period. Instead, they run on a mechanical winding mechanism. What you can do is, if you see where my arrow is here on the 3 o'clock position, you open that up. You can open up the glass face. It's like a little door. You open that up, and every once a week you can stick your key into one of these holes and just wind it up. And as long as you remember to wind it, it keeps going. You'll never have to worry about power outages or anything. Also, there's a neat little switch here, which is an on-off switch for the chimes. And for those of you who are wondering, well, wait a moment, if these are mechanical clocks, these are completely mechanical chimes. It's the real deal. These are not sound bites, okay? This is the real deal. For those of you who are interested, if you search YouTube for either Westminster chime clock or if you've ever listened to the sounds of Big Ben, the clock tower in London, then you already know what I'm talking about. But there's just something homely about having a timepiece like this. It reminds me of simpler times. And one of these days, I don't know when, but one of these days I would like to try to acquire one. Howard Miller is the only manufacturer that I know of, aside from Hermley, who makes wind-up mantle clocks still. And they're not cheap, but they're definitely worth it in my eyes. Because if anything ever goes poof with my technology, I can just, take a look at this clock or listen to the chimes and be reminded that we were not always dependent on tech. Now, I love tech. I will always love tech. My career is going to be about tech. But you do have to wonder, how much is too much? It seems to, like I said, it seems to me like we're progressing at a rate that not even I can keep up with sometimes. It depends on the industry. I'll listen to Engadget, another podcast like that, or other websites, keep up with them. But if I wasn't so avid in reading up on the latest tech, and I were just, like an average consumer who went about my daily business and wasn't necessarily keeping such a close eye on the industry, then I'd be completely blown away at some of the things that are going on. It's like, well, I don't know. I wouldn't say it's like. I should say I have a question. Are we moving too fast? Because, for example, the smartphone that I have here next to me, that's going to be outdated in a couple of years. These clocks, they're going to keep on going. You just wind them up and they just go, go, go. Now, granted, they do require maintenance every couple of years, oiling and lubricating and whatnot for the mechanisms. But at the same time, they're timeless, My grandfather's clock at our summer house, we've had that ever since I was a baby. Probably before I was born. And you just wind that up and it just keeps going. And it makes you, it reminds you of the fact that not everything was always technology based. And that sometimes, how they say the old ways are still the best ways? What do you guys think? Are we too dependent on tech? Thank you for watching. Comments are welcome and have a nice day.